Lastly, Kelly, one last question for you. Some breaking news here. A federal judge just handed Google a major legal loss. What are we talking about there?
So this is the second major legal loss for Alphabet Google in the past few months or so. I want to make sure I get this right. This is about their ad market. So a judge in Virginia ruled that Google unlawfully monopolized markets for publisher ad servers and the market for ad exchanges. Kind of basically, just to break that down, they're saying that they have a monopoly in the online ad market. And that's the second judge that has ruled this. Why this is important is ad revenue for Google Online. I mean, that's a huge part of their business when it comes to search and just sort of giving them all of that firepower to invest in other places. And you could see a judge rule that they might have to break up their company. So of course, this is also what Meta is looking at. Now, there is no ruling in terms of what remedy for this particular ruling or the previous one, but just the fact that they're now facing two rulings that they have a monopoly in the ad market, it's not good news for Google right now.
Yeah, not at all. Kelly O'Grady, as always, thank you so much for helping us break all of that down. Appreciate your time.
Hello out there, YouTube. This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautifully warm Thursday. I'm doing pretty good myself. Shout out to the sister queen, I know who I am, for sending me this particular story right here. I was wondering when another one was going to come for Google because the hits just keep coming. And it's another major crack in the corrupt foundation of Google. And the reason why I say it's corrupt, well, we know it's corrupt because these federal judges keep ruling against them for illegal ad tech monopolies and all of that kind of stuff. You see what I mean? Probably about last year sometime, you had the judge rule, Department of Justice, rule against them for antitrust laws and what have you. Then on top of that, the way Google YouTube treats a lot of their content creators just ain't right. You see what I mean? I, for one, know that at first hand. Look, I've been going on probably about 5 years now. And I can tell you this, the same amount of views that I was getting when I first started, matter of fact, it was better. And with less subscribers, okay? Less than probably about 200 to 300 subscribers. All right, now I got 1,400, somewhere around there, 1,450. And I can tell you, my view count barely makes 50 views, if that. You see what I mean? 20 to 50 views. Every now and again, they'll let one open up and get a little bit of, viewership, 1,300 or whatever, And then what they do to you guys, which bothers me too. They doing it to me as well. Erasing your comments, making sure that, we can't correspond with one another about the content that I do. You understand? Before a lot of times I get a chance to even see it. Giving unnecessary strikes. You see what I'm saying? For videos that I might post that I got from somewhere else on YouTube that's still up. Things like that. See, that's what lets me know it's personal and it's a lot of biases going on. You see what I'm saying? This is why I say YouTube, Google YouTube that is a sinking ship. Why? Because they got a lot of DEI type people working there. Has no business behind no control board. Why? Because see, they basically let their personal emotions rule how they treat channels, and they're not supposed to be doing that. They're supposed to be non-biased. You see what I'm saying? So what they do, if it's something that you said or they don't like and all of that kind of stuff, and they feel like we here, there ain't nothing you can do about it. Oh, something's gonna be done about it. Something's gonna be done about it. Something is being done about it as we speak. How many hits can Google YouTube take? How many hits? You understand? Before everything comes crashing down. Period. Okay? Oh, and I forgot to mention about Russia, President Putin? What was that? $20 decillion that Google YouTube or Google whatever owed them or whatever that they were supposed to pay within 9 months. A lot of hits, and the hits gonna keep coming until Google is no more. The Department of Justice is already talking about dismantling Google. You see, and it's not going to be long before these federal judges start paying attention to what other people like content creators are saying about being unjustly and unfairly treated on this platform. Okay? And when they do, they're going to come at your asses for that too. So if you want to play, hey, I'm going to tell you this. If Google, YouTube don't get a hand on whoever these little incels are that's twisted up in their little ass, mad because somebody said something and want to sabotage their channel, if you don't get a hand on them, I guarantee you, these federal judges are going to come for your asses on that too. You watch and see what I tell you. Now, let's get more in depth in what that lady, was talking about. And get into the legalities of why this federal judge is doing the things that they are doing to Google. Now, it reads, a federal judge ruled Thursday that Google illegally acquired and maintained a monopoly over advertising technology. The second time in less than a year that the tech giant has been found in violation of antitrust laws. U.S. District Judge Lonnie Brikema, I guess that's the way you pronounce the name, found that Google has a monopoly over two separate markets in the ad tech space, which helps connect publishers selling ad space online and advertisers. Plaintiffs have proven that Google has willfully engaged in a series of anti-competitive acts to acquire and maintain monopoly power in the publisher, ad service, and ad exchange markets. For open web display advertising, Brikema wrote Thursday. Okay, ugly. For over a decade, Google has tied its publisher ad service and ad exchange together through contractual policies and technological integration, which enables the company to establish and protect its monopoly power in these two markets. She continued. The ruling is another major blow for Google after separate federal judge ruled in August that the company had a monopoly over online searches. Okay, Google is set to head to court next week in the search case to argue against the Department of Justice (DOJ) proposal that it be forced to divest that is, from its Chrome browser. Yeah, they're gonna take you down. Y'all gonna have to divest. The DOJ and Google argued the ad tech case over a span of 2 weeks in September, just 1 month after the landmark antitrust ruling against the tech giant. 1 month after the ruling, and y'all busted for doing something else. You can forget about winning any arguments. They're going to take you down. It's a good chance that this company might be sold by somebody else that's going to have to run it, going to run it fair and righteously. You see what I'm saying? Let's continue. The government contended that Google had a monopoly over 3 distinct markets in the ad tech space. One market for publishers, another market for advertisers, and a third to connect the two sides. It accused Google of using acquisitions and tying products together to eliminate competition and shore up its dominance over online advertising. Google argued there was one unified market for ad tech that extended beyond online ads to include those on apps, social media, and connected television. In this market, the tech firm emphasized that it faces competition from Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and TikTok. Okay? I'm telling y'all right now, this is the beginning of the end for Google. All right. See, you got these new people that's coming on right here. You know, Meta, Amazon, you know, TikTok. What was once a big tech giant is he has a crack in his Achilles heel. All right. Then you know what happens after that. Ain't gonna be long before this giant bites the dust. All right. If you keep doing these antitrust things and antitrust things too with content creators, same thing. Okay, let's continue. Burkina largely sided with the DOJ on the layout of markets in the ad tech space, finding a publisher market and an ad exchange market connecting publishers and advertisers. Evidence. She had no other choice but to, agree. Google has a monopoly over both markets, the judge ruled, pointing to the tech giant's dominance in both. She also cited Google's ability to degrade certain features for publishers without fearing it would lose customers, as well as its ability to charge super competitive prices for its ad exchange service. By tying its publisher and ad exchange products together, she said Google made premier access to its vast ad demand amazed through its dominance in search, contingent on the use of its other products. This tie made it difficult for rivals to compete and violated antitrust laws, Burkina said. She also found that the company instituted anti-competitive policies to further entrench its monopoly. See, playing unfair. See, when you play unfair, you gonna get caught. It's real simple. I mean, anybody, you know what I mean, with no sense at all can understand that, Wow. It's just really bad, man, when you let somebody get in charge of something that's really good and nice and they just ruin it. They just ruin it with their silly ways. You see? Let's continue here. Assistant Attorney General Gail Slater, who heads up the DOJ's antitrust division, touted Thursday as a historic day in antitrust enforcement and a great day for America. That bad. Two courts have now found that Google is a monopolist. She wrote on X, "Thank you at Pontus Trump at AG Pam Bondi for your unwavering leadership and commitment to the American people. And congrats to the at Justice ATR trial team who worked tirelessly on this tremendous victory for all Americans." Google declared a partial victory Thursday, saying it won half of this case and we will appeal the other half. Okay. All right. Burkina sided with Google in finding there is no separate advertiser market for online ads and determining the company's 2008 acquisition of DoubleClick and 2011 acquisition of AdMail were not anti-competitive. The court found that our advertiser tool and our acquisitions, such as DoubleClick, don't harm competition. Lee Ann Mulholland, Google's voice president of regulatory affairs, said in a statement, "We disagree with the court's decision regarding our publisher tools," Mulholland added. "Publishers have many options and they choose Google because our ad tech tools are simple, affordable, and effective." Okay? Well, that's what you say. But how many hits to your foundation? How many cracks can you take before you come tumbling and crumbling down? That's what I like to know. Y'all got some ugly practices. Y'all letting these YouTube moderators run rampant. Woo! I'm telling you, run rapid. The Bible study that I did last Friday, It had 43 views, and just of yesterday, well, day before yesterday, they took it down to 29 views. I mean, a lot of silliness. You know what I mean? Just out of nowhere, just doing a lot of silliness. So I'm telling y'all right now, Google YouTube is on one leg. And the hits gonna keep coming until they are no longer standing. That's basically what this all boils down to. And that's if they don't put a handle on all this biases that they got going on. And telling people what they can say and demonetizing channels, saying, well, you said this, you sneezed in a live stream, and we're gonna demonetize your channel, well, this particular video right here because you sneezed. You cough, and you supposed to do that within 5 seconds of the video, and you did it beyond 5 seconds. Stupid stuff. All kinds of things they coming up with to keep from paying people. It ain't gonna be long before these federal judges hit you about this too. Just watch. That's all I got on this one, people. I know you may struggle to comment or whatever, you know, about old Google, you know what I mean? Because more than likely they're not going to let you comment because they're going to erase your comment. But nevertheless, thank you for your efforts anyway. You know, like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.